Thank you for joining me for another episode of Soul Food Sundays. Who, when I tell y'all, your girl tired. I am tired, but I was excited to do some work and do it to finish early enough to get home and still feel up to delivering this reading, because I was really looking forward to it. And so here I am. I hope that you guys are well. And I was just very randomly singing this song that I have not heard in forever. I've not sang in forever, but it was in my spirit, and it's a song that I remember from church. And I don't know the name of it. I guess it's Living Testimony, but the song goes, I am a living testimony. I should have been dead and gone. Some live on. I am a living testimony. Some, I'm still alive. Y'all, I don't know where the fuck, like, I know where it came from. It came from the divine, of course. It came through my crown chakra into my third eye, and now it's coming out of my throat. However, it was so random. I was just in the kitchen getting my stuff together to come out here and eat me a grilled chicken sandwich and do this reading. And so that really prompted me to think about how, as a collective, because you know, it's with Soul Food Sundays, we talking about what's going on with the collective, the best message for the highest good of the collective. A lot of us are needing to not take our testimony for granted and to use our testimony as our gift to help others, as us putting in to the collective pot, so to speak, to make this world a better place and help somebody. Because one thing for certain, two things for sure, we are not going through shit just to be going through it. You know what I'm saying? We're going through stuff so we can share the knowledge and wisdom that we experience with someone else who's going through it, or to help them avoid going through it, or whatever the case. And so our testimony is not our own. You know what I'm saying? It's meant for us to share. So some of y'all may be sleeping on your testimony. Hell, it might have been in my spirit to sing that song or think of that song, because maybe I'm needing to share how I'm a living testimony. Who knows? And whenever what part of my life I'm needing to share reveals itself, I'm open to, because I do believe that it's important that we have transparent connections as we move throughout our journey. And so, yeah, I don't know, maybe, you know, it's leading, some of you are being led to use your voice, your throat chakra more, to do some throat chakra healing, or maybe your throat chakra is being activated in some way, and you got a story to tell. We all got a story to tell. But maybe there's some fear and anxiety or some apprehension of some sort about sharing your story. And listen, the most important relationship in your life is your relationship with the divine, which coincides with the relationship that you have with yourself. And if the divine is asking of you to share your story, to share your testimony, who are you to say no? Who are you to block it? You know what I'm saying? Because when you block that, you're blocking your blessings. And so we just want to be mindful of the urgency, the need to share our testimony, to be grateful for our testimony, to not sleep on our testimony. And as we are in Mercury retrograde, which is very much a time of reflection, think back about your story. Think over your story. Really think about what you've been through and how far you've come. Don't think about what you've been through and then get stuck there, because that can happen too. You start going down that tunnel, that woe is me, oh my God, I'm a victim of this, that, and the third, instead of giving it its proper time and attention, reflection, honoring it, and then really giving yourself credit. The people who have been supportive along the way, y'all know I live by the airport, so from time to time the plane's gonna come by, but hopefully the mic is picking up my voice enough to where you can hear me clearly regardless. But yeah, being grateful for those who helped you along the journey, whether you still associate with them or not, whether they're still alive or not, and then having some hope, some joy, some drive, some will to move forward, being more intentional about the testimony that you're developing at this time, because the story continues to go on. Every minute that we're inhaling and exhaling, our story is being written, and ultimately it's meant to be shared. We're not meant to hold our story so close to our chest, and that's why our healing comes in, because once you start to heal the pain, the trauma, the emotional distress, the arrested development, the codependency, the narcissism, and all of the things that come along with our experiences, once you start to heal those things, you get more comfortable with sharing your story. You begin to value your testimony more. So know that you are a living testimony, and you are meant to share that story with somebody. I'm going to be pulling from a few decks that I was led to grab on my way out here to do the reading. I don't know that download has anything to do with the message that is going to be coming out for Soul Food Sundays today. But regardless, we're going to get the best message for our highest good at this very moment. I am burning an incense blend, a loose incense blend that I made some time ago, and because I didn't label the bag, I don't know what the hell my intention was for this incense blend, but I know it has sandalwood because I know the color of sandalwood powder. It has rose petals and eucalyptus, and it smells divine, yo. So whatever my intention was, it's gonna serve us in this reading, and I gotta do a better job of labeling my stuff. So I'm going to pull from the Earth Magic Oracle cards. We are in Taurus season, which is an earth sign, an earth energy, all about grounding and home. Taurus is very much an energy of home, so it's like feeling at home with yourself, comfortable with who you are, your physical home, your physical structure, creating, making a house a home, who you feel at home with, who you feel comfortable with. Taurus is also an energy that represents family. So there may be some family issues coming up to be healed for the collective at this time. I know there's been some family trauma in my family that I dare not share on the channel. And then, or just wrapping your mind around having a family. What does family look like for you? What you would want that to look like. Do you want children? Do you want to get married? Are you open to adoption? I mean, those are like just some key things that may be coming up for you guys during Taurus season. Also finances. So lessons regarding lack consciousness, abundance, prosperity, and wealth may be coming up as well. But I saw 1010 on my stove clock, which is not set, when I was on my way out here. So we're very much beginning some new cycles and ending some old cycles. And so it really does behoove us to dedicate some time and thought to what is coming up for us, the key themes that are coming up for us as a collective. So I'm gonna pull some cards to see what message the Spirit wants me to be a channel to bring forth for you all at this time. And I just hope that it lands well, and that it is what you need to hear at this time. I hope that it brings you some clarity, some peace, some confirmation, some advice. But we're going to see what comes out. So Father God, Mother Earth, ancestors and spirit guides, we come to you in this moment, thankful for your love, your light, for your provision and your protection. We ask that you continue to bless us, and ask that you bring forth the best message for our highest good as a collective at this time, Spirit. I ask that you speak to me and through me, so that I may deliver the best message for the collective's highest good at this time. What message would you have me to deliver to the collective at this time? Okay. Any of them fell out first? Them fell out upright, and this fell out like in reverse, but like it wanted to, like movement. Okay, we'll get to that when I get to that card. So this is the energy of, because the first card that I noticed that fell out was Island. An island represents solitude. When you think about it, an island is a mass of land that is surrounded by water, and it stands alone. It's not attached to the other mass of land. And there's this saying, no man is an island. That's because an island represents being alone, singular, single, or in solitude. And this card fell out in reverse, but it was like this, like it wasn't quite sideways, and it wasn't quite all the way in reverse. So this speaks to almost being ready to come out of solitude, or being ready to come out of solitude, but that energy being blocked in some way. So you have this mass of land, like I said, kind of look like a hill or whatever, and then there is a purple tree, because in this time of solitude, we've been focused on our emotional state and our intuitive state and our third eye. And you know that purple represents the third eye chakra. It represents the intuition. So it's like being in a high priest or high priestess energy and going within. And it's kind of dark in this image, but you could kind of see the moon peeping through the clouds. This is like a time of doing shadow work and even going through the dark night of the soul. But what this says is you about to come out. You about to come out. Now, I will say that when you're in hermit mode like this and you go through a dark night of the soul, sometimes you get addicted to that solitude. You know what I'm saying? You learn so much and you get so comfortable that you don't want to come out. You don't want to start back socializing more or reaching out to people more, connecting more, because you've got comfortable in your solitude, reading your books, doing readings, watching documentaries and videos, and watching readings and meditating and all that. So it's like, damn, I'm loving me more, I'm learning more. I slick don't even want to share this peace or this solitude with nobody, but I am a living testimony. You got to share your story. You got to come out. You can't just keep everything that you're learning and you experience to yourself. You got to come out. And so that explains the blockage. The second card that came out, dream time, because you got something to create. Creation. There's something to be created from what it is that has been revealed to you, and how you have evolved and elevated and raised your vibration and your level of consciousness. There's something to be created from that. So you went within, you spent some time in increased solitude. Now, of course, we live in a society where, we gotta go to work. Some of us, we go to the gym. We are a part of groups and organizations or school. So we're around people. We ain't in complete solitude. But here lately, we've been choosing to be more in solitude than probably we ever have, especially intentionally. But you need to come out, because you're entering a time of creation, and you're needing to use what has happened in your life up to this point, your testimony, what you just experienced during your solitude, to create something new. In this image here, you have a man who, he actually reminds me of this guy I've been watching on YouTube called Astarius Wisdom, something like that. I'm gonna share something of his with y'all. But he uses this instrument called I just saw it early, a didgeridoo or something. Damn, where my phone? Now I got to. I made a 420 too much, because I can't remember shit now. And now I don't know where my phone is. Anyway, I'm gonna share it. I promise I'm gonna share. I be saying I'm gonna put shit in the description and all that, and then I forget to do it. But I'm gonna share it, because the thing he uses is an instrument with a certain healing frequency. And this looks like him and the damn thing. But what's coming out of the end of this thing is, look like some snakes and some turtles and a fox, and just creating. He's using it to create a whole new world. You got the ancestors present here. You see them people right there? He's creating a whole new world. My nails dirty. But you need to create a new world for yourself after being in a period of solitude. Because in that period of solitude, you've learned some new things. You've had some revelations. Some things have become clearer to you. You've been inspired to move in a certain direction. You got some things that you further want to learn about, and all of that is contributing to this new world for yourself and for the collective that you're needing to create. So that's a dope message. And in order to do that, you have to make sure you're vibing on a frequency like the green man, with vitality and synergy. When you evolve, or that's not the word I'm thinking about. When you come out, I don't need a big word for that thought. When you come out of solitude, you're gonna have increased synergy. You're going to have raised your vibration and be able to connect with people who also have a high vibration and thrive, like the green, lush green atmosphere that you see in this card here. Green is all about not only the heart chakra, but growth. And it's like the energy that you have when you take chlorophyll or spirulina or any of those green supplements or nutrients that are said to help you grow like a tree. You know what I'm saying? Again, another tree message. Make sure y'all getting outside to ground and connect with Mother Nature at this time during this earth season of Taurus season. And as you're doing that, you're becoming more of a shaman. Like this guy that I'm telling you, Astarius, Arterio. I'm gonna get it right. I'm gonna send it to y'all. But he gives off a very shaman-like energy, because he's tapped into ancient healing wisdom. That instrument that he uses like a long horn, and then he's able to make some sound with his mouth that the vibration is healing. Those are ancient healing techniques that he has downloaded and researched and all of the things, garnering ancient healing wisdom, the things that our ancestors did to heal, the medicine that they use, tapping into herbs and the ways of the many gifts of Mother Gaia to help us on a day-to-day basis instead of what's prescribed to us in these worldly prescriptions for different problems that we have, or ways of living. Unplugging from the matrix and mass consciousness and tapping into ancient healing wisdom, tapping into the shaman within us. So that's super dope. I know one thing I gotta do today is I need to kind of till the soil that I'm going to be gardening with. I got 2 kiddie pools that I was using the beginning of last fall to grow some kale and some beets, because I love like sauteed kale, and then I like beet juice. I mixed it with like pineapple juice, ginger, and so I was like, okay, to start out, I'm gonna do that. And the squirrels ate all my shit, y'all. Listening to somebody else who told me it would be fine, I was like, no, I probably need something to protect it, something to go over. And I didn't listen to myself, listen to somebody else, because I assumed they had more experience than me. And the squirrels ate all my shit. They was wrong. So make sure you listening to yourself and not following other people's ignorant ass advice. Listen to your own ancient healing wisdom within. I might have been a gardener in a past life. I got that protective wire shit from somewhere. I should have listened to myself, and I would have me some goddamn kale and beets right now, enough to share with y'all. And next to shaman, ancestors, we breaking generational curses, y'all. So I know this shit don't feel good, because a lot of what I've been experiencing has not felt good to me neither. But we're the torch bearers, and so we signed up for this. It comes up with the territory, but we are to share our testimony, and not only share our testimony, but also do the work to tap into our past lives. Information about our past lives, ancient healing wisdom, is coming to us during our dreams, during our visions that we're having in our meditative state, things that we resonate with in this lifetime. Like I resonate big time with Kemetic spirituality and Egyptian history, and there's no doubt in my mind that that is a part of not just one of my past lives, but several. And so that's ancestral wisdom coming through to you as well, and breaking curses, because we are doing our part. We're taking the torch and we're leading the charge to create a better environment and world to live in for generations to come. You think we supposed to just have benefited from the work of our ancestors, and then we just live off of the fat of the land and all the hard work that they did, and the discrimination and the oppression and all of the things, and we supposed to just live off of that and post pictures on Instagram and TikTok and travel the world? No, we got shit to do too. We got crosses to bear too. Like they say in church, must Jesus bear the cross alone? We gotta tap into our Christ consciousness in order to break generational curses, and also tap into gifts and I got so much spit in my mouth, Lord. Gifts and talents that have been passed down to us from generation to generation. If you love jewelry, one of your ancestors may have been a blacksmith or a metalsmith of some sort. If you are a stylist, you may have an ancestor that was a stylist, a seamstress, shined shoes, or made cloth. You don't know. market man or woman in Africa. And then just because you black in this lifetime don't mean you've been black in every lifetime. Just because you're a man in this lifetime don't mean you've always been a man in your lifetime. I was a little boy in one of my lifetimes. I saw it. So it behooves us to invest in that kind of exploration of ourselves. You know, my motto is to thine own self be true, but you can't be true to yourself if you don't know who the fuck you are. And what we see in this 3D reality barely scratches the surface of who we are. So you need to get your birth chart pulled, find out what planets are where. You needed to know what your north node and south node are, because that tells you about your traits that are passed on from generation to generation. Your south node telling you about what your energy was like, or maybe even your profession in a past life. Your north node tells you what energy you need to tap into in this lifetime, and what your north star or your high calling is in this lifetime. Your Chiron tells you where your wounding is meant to serve you. It speaks a whole lot to your inner child wounds. I know mine is, speaking of it being Taurus season, my Chiron is in Taurus, which says that with Taurus being the sign that represents home and family, growing up I didn't feel safe and provided for and protected in some way. That don't mean materially I wasn't provided for, because I was. Emotionally, I could have used more attention. I could have definitely used more support. I could have definitely used more emotional intelligence to be modeled and taught to me. But as a result of generational curses, shit going on from generation to generation within my family, naturally those things would be absent. And then the rest of my journey would be me learning it on my own, figuring that thing out. That's why I said, when it comes to your testimony, do not be sitting up ashamed of what you've been through. Don't be ashamed of shit you've done. Forgive yourself, and then turn that pain, that embarrassment, that guilt, that shame into passion and purpose. Put that shit on your back and carry your cross, because Jesus is not meant to carry the cross alone. The church teaches us that Jesus is this guy who came to earth, and he was persecuted to save us from our sins. And I don't resonate with it. That's why I tell people all the time, hey, I don't consider myself Christian, but I do believe in Christ. And I definitely believe in Christ's consciousness. And I believe that the example that Christ set, if that story is true, was something that we are meant to embody and exude on an energetic level, that does not include us sacrificing ourselves for other people. You're not nailing me to no cross. You're not, for what they did. You're not. But I am going to do the work to raise my vibration and love people unconditionally in accordance to my love for myself. I'ma definitely love me. I'ma definitely love God. I'm gonna make choices that reflect my love for myself and my love for God. But I just don't believe nailing yourself to the cross, sacrificing, giving from an empty cup is Christ-like. I don't buy into that. And so we are breaking generational curses, because we know for generations that's been the narrative, that's been the story, that's been the testimony. And the last card that fell out was well, breach, coming up for air. Every now and then a whale comes up from the depths of the ocean for some air. You've been in this solitude. It's time to come up for air. It's time to get back out in society. It's time to bloom like the flowers do in the spring. We are meant to live in accordance with the seasons. You've been wintering in this solitude energy. You've been hibernating. But it's time to come up out them emotional waters and get you a breath of fresh air and have some fun doing it. It's time to have synergy and connect with people and be open to connecting with energies that are like the energy that you have now evolved to. You vibing higher now. Treat yourself. Don't cheat yourself. I really feel like that's going to be the name of the Divine Masculine Energy reading that's coming up. I haven't done it yet, but the downloads I've been having point to the title being cheat yourself, don't treat yourself. So I'm telling y'all now, man, woman, and child, treat yourself, don't cheat yourself. We have yet to see what's at the top of the deck and at the bottom of the deck. So let's see. I really don't even need to clarify this damn reading. Rainbow blessings. After the storm comes the rainbow. God promised us that trouble would not last always, that he would always send us a rainbow to remind us of the various colors and energies of life. And here we have rainbow blessings because it's at the top of the deck, because your testimony is your blessing. What you went through, it was a blessing. Now that you've been in solitude, you're in a better position to see the adversity that you've experienced, the trials and tribulations, the obstacles, as a blessing. It prepares you for this very moment in time where you step forward like a queen, like a king, like a warrior, more prepared for life, able to share the knowledge and wisdom that you've obtained, able to boldly and confidently share your experience to help somebody else. You consider it more of a blessing because you now can understand that your experience, it wasn't in vain. The pain, the trauma, it wasn't in vain. You didn't go through it for nothing. You probably have spent a good portion of your life questioning why the hell did I go through that? What was all that about? It was a blessing. And now you can see the blessing for what it is. You don't went from this kind of dark moonlit solitude, probably even lonely energy of the island. It's lit. The rainbow after the storm at the top of the deck. Just had 3 birds fly in. I wonder what kind of birds those are. Because birds are messengers. You have a message to deliver. And you've aligned yourself with a lifestyle, or you're aligning yourself with a lifestyle that is in alignment with the message that you're going to be delivering. You know how a lot of times, especially in the church, I'm on the church folks' ass today, where they talk a good game, but they don't live their life. They ain't about their life. They can get up there in the pulpit and regurgitate the whole fucking Bible. But when it comes to actually seeing that character within these individuals, it's like, and no, they're not meant to be perfect. I know I've always been the type of person that felt like just because a person is a preacher or a Sunday school teacher, because I used to teach Sunday school, choir member, a usher, a deacon, deaconess, whatever, or keep the pews warm, whatever the case, does not mean that you are perfect, and that we should not put people on a pedestal and then be butthurt when they show us that they don't have the capacity to live up to the pedestal that we put them on, and that they're not perfect. So I totally get that. But the point that I'm making is there are a lot of people who do not even have the intention of living out what it is that they preach and teach. That's not you. You're aligning with a totally different chapter of the journey, and you're meant to share where you've been up to this point, and then show up ready, willing, and able to create this next chapter. This new narrative that you are creating is going to be dope. And it's at the bottom of the deck, it is showing you where There is more going on than meets the eye, because we got iceberg submerged. When there's an iceberg in the ocean, you can see some of it at the top. You can see the peak. You know what I'm saying? And no matter how big it is, know that it's bigger beneath the water, beneath the surface. You are developing more depth, no longer being shallow, no longer being superficial, no longer subscribing to the matrix. There's more going on beneath the surface with you all, with us, than what the human eye can see. And that's why it's so important that we tap into that third eye. I'm going to clarify this message. I was going to use some tarot, but instead, I'm going to close it out with the Gateway Oracle. Because this is definitely us moving through a gateway. You're moving through a gateway from solitude to synergy. What the fuck did I just say? Looking deeper. Deep within me is a majestic radiance. That's that submerged. You got some depth to you now. It's levels to you. Like they say, it's levels to this shit. It's levels to you. You were never that individual who was just real simple. You far more complex than you ever gave yourself credit for, than you ever had the courage to acknowledge or reveal. But you're revealing that radiance now, and you're looking deeper. You're looking deeper, and you're getting more comfortable with showing the world that you're deeper. You know how they say, they talk about woke people. Oh, they just think they so deep. No, I am. It's levels to this shit. And if you let me, I will go so deep down the fucking rabbit hole like Alice in Wonderland that it's ridiculous. Because at the end of the day, everything that's going on around us, you can accept it and see it for what is being presented to you. You can see a bird as a bird, an organism that flies, or you can see a bird as a divine messenger coming in in divine timing to confirm something for you. You can see an airplane flying over right now is just a plane going wherever it's supposed to go. Or you can see it as a sign from God confirming that there's some elevation taking place. You can see yourself as an individual who just meant to get up and go to work and pay taxes, have a little sex, buy a couple of outfits, take a couple of trips. Or you can look deeper and see that you were a shaman many lifetimes ago, and that you still have some of those gifts within your DNA, and that you are meant to atone for your ancestors' suffering in this lifetime by contributing those shamanic gifts and talents to what you do on it every day. That's your calling. Top of the deck. That was just what fell out. At the top of the giving birth. I am bringing forth new and dynamic energy into this world. The Empress energy. You've been in the womb. That's that solitude, that island. And while you were in the womb, while you were in solitude having some alone time, you were giving birth to a new you, and therefore giving birth to a new world. Creation. At the bottom of the deck. Breaking barriers. I am expanding beyond limitations into joy and freedom. Your mind is no longer incarcerated. You're no longer incarcerated by ancestral chains and curses, breaking them. Your daddy wasn't there, you're not going to be their daddy. Your mama was not emotionally available, you're going to be emotionally available. Your brothers your older brother, sisters, whoever, scared to express them true selves, living by the code of society, the patriarchy, you gonna do shit your way, like Frank Sinatra said. Did I say that man's name right? Frank Sinatra. I said it, but then I ain't hear it coming out of my mouth. It felt like I said it wrong. Anyway, breaking barriers. This is exciting, y'all. We're shifting the paradigm. They can no longer get away with feeding us whatever they want us to see and know, because we're sharing our testimony. We're being living testimonies. We're honoring and appreciating our testimonies. We're creating new testimonies. They can't have that. They can't take that away from us. One of my favorite sayings, this joy that I have, the world didn't give it and the world can't take it away. So with that being said, y'all, I hope this message found you well. If it did not find you well, I hope that it leaves you well. And I would definitely be putting out more content, but I'm not sure exactly how that's going to flow, because with me door dashing now, I am figuring out, it's such a free spirited journey. I'm figuring out how to get gymming, door dashing, and taking care of things on the home front, and keeping Turquoise Majesty afloat. All like how to keep all that going, and it's gonna fall in alignment. I'm taking it day by day, but with that being the case, there may not be a regular schedule, so to speak, with how these videos are going out. So for example, I don't know that I'm gonna get to do Zodiacs this month. Definitely going to try, so stay tuned. Hit that like button, subscribe, hit the bell,